Hiya, welcome to my channel. I'm Colzo, and here I make art stuff. I'm an artist and illustrator based in the north of England. I'm also a self-taught artist, and the aim for this video, because sometimes I make studio vlogs as well, but the aim for this video is to talk a wee bit about colour theory, mixing colour, using a limited colour palette. So that's what we're going to chat about. So to start off with, I'm going to show you, this is the colour wheel, and it's got, your primary colours, red, yellow, blue, then your secondary colours, orange, green, purple. And then you've got tertiary colours, which are your blue greens, your red, violet, that kind of thing. But what I'm showing you now is I've drawn out the colour wheel itself again, and we're going to together, using 3 colours, we're going to mix all the colours that are on the colour wheel. I prefer using a what's it called? Permanent rose colour when I mix colours, so you'll see that I'm using quite a vibrant pink to start off with, and then I'm using lemon yellow, I'm using a cerulean blue. So I'm starting off, I've got this really vibrant bright pink, and I'm laying it down. So colour theory, there's a thing called complementary colours, and that's your colours which are opposite each other on the colour wheel. So your opposite of red, pink, is green, and the opposite then of your yellow, orange is a blue, violet. But there's also a thing called a split complementary, which is your warm colours and cool colours. So you can use a warm red or a cool red, which is what I'm using. I'm using a cool red, which is that bright pink. So what I'm doing is, off screen I've got a plate at the minute that I'm using to mix colour on, and I'm just mixing pink and yellow with varying different amounts to get the right hue, which is what we'd call colour. So yeah, there we go, that's what I'm doing. It's pink, then through to a reddy orange, or a pinky orange in this case. Then we go to an orange and then yellow. Sorry, a yellow orange, and then we go yellow. And you've just seen that I've mopped up some of the colour because I wasn't quite happy with what my mix was, so I'm starting again, back to the pink and back to the yellow, mixing them in varying sort of amounts to try and get the right colour, basically. But there's really good value in mixing colour and knowing how to mix your colours, because you'll see later on we make an illustration where we only use 4 tubes of paint. We use the primary colours, so the permanent rose, the lemon yellow, and cerulean blue. But then I also use a Payne's grey, which is a blue black, to tint the colours to give them sort of darker values and change the values. And because it's a blue black or a blue grey, it has some really interesting effects and tonal values. Clearly here I'm still not happy with the colour that I've just mixed. There's, I think, be encouraged to know that while mixing can be hard, it is definitely worth getting right and putting the time and effort into. It's all well and good having a whole big tin of paints full of hundreds of colours, but to make a painting or an illustration really cohesive, it is really definitely worth knowing how to mix your colour. So push through, get yourself 3 colours, a red, yellow and a blue, or a pink, yellow and a blue, and mix to your heart's content until you get it right. I think because I sell a lot of my work as prints, I tend to try and work with what's known as CYMK, which is cyan, magenta, yellow, and the K stands for black. It makes it easier for then, because that's what your printer uses. I also use the permanent rose because it gives such beautiful beautiful purples, and that's definitely, whenever I'm mixing, my first go-to is how well can it make a purple. So yeah, but right now we're laying down yellows, and we're trying to go from those orange hues through to, we're going to go to green next. So the next thing will be a yellow green, which is why I've put a full triangle of yellow, and then I'm adding some blue on top to mix together. And this is a technique called glazing. It's where you lay one colour, and then because watercolour is a transparent medium, it means that when you layer another colour on top of it, you get it changes the colour for you, so like you can mix on the page. I realised that my green here is closer to the blue green, so I'm adding a bit more yellow to the colour. And like I say, it takes a lot of playing and sort of giving yourself permission to not see it as wasting your paint by doing this kind of exercise, but rather it will improve your paintings going forward, which is why it's so important to do. I think it's one of the things I probably wish I had learnt quicker or sooner in my journey, but I definitely think that it's something that has a lot of value too. So here we are making a blue-green now, because I already had it on the plate that I was mixing on. So then I'm now going to make a green, a true green. But I liked the blue-green that I had made already. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. And then from that, you're going to go into a blue, and then your blue violet, and round to a reddy purple. Like I say, it's definitely worth your time doing and learning. So your complementary colours we're just going to go back to that for a second, are the colours directly opposite on the colour wheel. So for example, what colours have I already got down? I've got red. So the direct opposite of that is a green. But then you've got, so then the other one would be an orange. The direct opposite would be blue. But you've also then got your split complementary, which is where you would use 3 different colours. So you would have a red orange and a green, and a red violet would be your split colours, and those would be quite cohesive and nice together as well. But I'm going to probably stop wittering at you for a second, speed this last part up, and then get into the illustration part. So just a sec. Okay, so what we're doing now is inking the illustration that we're going to use as our example of putting colour theory and colour mixing into practice. The reference is from Pexels, and I'll leave the link down below. It's a royalty-free website where you can use Illustrator or use the stock images for free, and there's no sort of copyright or anything on them. I have taken a lot of creative liberty with the final illustration, but I'll leave the link down below just if you want to see where we've how we've got to where we're at. I filmed a time lapse on my phone of the inking process, and this the video on my phone is about 20 seconds long, but in actual fact it took quite a bit longer. But so now we're getting to the colour part again. I'm using that pink, that sort of permanent rose. I'm using cerulean blue, and I'm using lemon yellow and Payne's grey, which is like that really dark blue black. It's a really rich colour, and you only need a small amount, and it has really strong tinting. It has a really strong tinting strength. I don't think that's real words. Anyway, yeah, so what I've done is I've blocked in the colours that I absolutely definitely wanted, which is the roof to be that sort of blue-black, the windows to be blue-black, and I wanted the blinds on the bottom 3 windows to be a yellowy blue, a yellow green and a yellow. So here I'm mixing the blue, the pink and the yellow together to create what is going to become the building. This does change ever so slightly in a bit. I'm not quite happy with the colour, but as you can see, those very rich, bright pinks and blues can be mixed together to make really quite interesting colours that you might not necessarily get if you were just using straight from the tube or straight from the pan. So like I said earlier, it is a really good exercise. It makes your whole illustration or your whole painting look cohesive, so it looks like it belongs together. Here I am trying to recreate the colour that I had and then changing my mind and getting it going slightly deeper. And basically, like I say, I'm mixing a bit of each of the colours, each of the three colours, to get the colour for the bricks or the building. And then a bit later on, I start adding a bit of the Payne's Grey into the mix. As you'll see, I'll change the colour of the shutters on the window. Excuse me. Because once I decided on the colour of the actual building, I decided that the shutters were too close in colour to the rest of the building, so they were getting a bit lost. I think when it comes to colour, I'm quite confident in mixing colour with watercolour. Look at that beautiful, rich purple that we've just made. I have clearly changed my mind about the colour of the roof at this point and decided that a dark grey was a bit too boring. And it looks more cohesive, as I said earlier, when you use sort of more of the same colours together. So this painting has been made with that very bright pink, this pink, this yellow, and this blue, and the Payne's Grey, which is like a blue black. This is the colours we've used. Because it's watercolour, I can save the palette or the plate and use it another day. But what I'm going to do is add some coloured pencil just to finish it off. And obviously with coloured pencil you can mix colours, but I'm going to choose colours that are close to what I've already made. Just to add a few extra details. So yeah, okay, so I'm just choosing the colours that I would like to use for this illustration. I'm using a magenta, I'm using a blue violet, I'm using a blue, I'm using a sort of lemon yellow kind of colour. I'm using a deep green and a yellow green. But before I commit to putting them on the illustration, I'm just checking to see how they look together and whether I'm happy enough that I've made the right choices. And you're going to see me doing a bit of detail sort of stuff. And I'm going to insert a clip that I recorded on my phone, which has delicious coloured pencil ASMR. So if you're into that kind of art supplies, making the noise of art supplies, it is beautiful. So I'm going to insert that clip here, and then I'm going to come back to you. So that was the video. Thanks if you've made it this far. Thanks for coming and hanging out with me. I hope that you've got some value out of what we've been doing today. If you have got value from this, I'll leave my Ko-fi link down below if you would like to buy me a coffee to say thanks, but that's totally up to yourself. And I will have linked down below the high-res scan of the colour wheel, so you've got a better idea of what it looks like, and that'll be linked for down below. All other links are down below as well, including what materials I've used, all that kind of thing. I made a commitment this year that I would be more consistent with upload and social media and stuff. I didn't manage to upload last month, however, it's a new month, it's a new video, and I hope you've enjoyed yourself. If you're not already, feel free to subscribe, do all the things, it helps me out. Yeah, that's probably about it, really. Like I say, thanks for coming and hanging out with me, and I hope you've enjoyed this, for want of a better word, tutorial on how to mix a bit of colour. I'm Colzo, and it was nice to hang out with you, and I will catch you again soon.